You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode 163. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? I've got a special gift for you today. I went into the vault of previously recorded episodes for this show, and I found one of my absolute favorites that I am re-releasing for you to enjoy today. And it is a great one for overcoming imposter syndrome and knowing how you can stand out as a coach, and more importantly, believe in yourself and what you have to offer. So without further ado, here it is, and I hope you enjoy. What's up, coaches? In this episode, I am going to address one of the most common concerns that I hear new coaches share, which is the concern that there are too many experts out there already, and who the heck do I think I am? We are going to shatter any kind of imposter syndrome that you have in this episode. I have been waiting anxiously to produce this episode for a long time now, so I am very excited to dive in. Now, if you don't know what imposter syndrome is when you doubt your own skills and talents and abilities, and you worry that one day people are going to find you out and discover that you're not as good as they thought they were. Now, a lot of people say that they're concerned about the other competitors that they have out there, or the other experts or coaches that are farther along than they are. And I want to share why having this kind of concern is really irrelevant for you to have. And I want to present to you what to consider instead. So firstly, are there other experts out there that are better than you? Let's answer that question. The answer is, yeah, of course there are. And there's always going to be other people out there that are more experienced than you. And when you keep thinking about that, you're just going to keep finding more evidence of it. So it can be easy to think that those out there who you perceive to be ahead of you and have everything figured out are the people that you need to worry about. It's easy to perceive that there's others out there that are ahead of you. That's all your perception, though. So there is a quote that I love, and it goes, there's two types of people out there, those who are nervous and those who are liars. So all of the people who you imagine are at this expert level, they're just as human as you are. They're struggling with the same exact human emotions and thoughts that you're struggling with. So I want to share a story for when this became so clear and evident to me. I was at a workshop years ago, and during the workshop, we were all given a piece of styrofoam, and we were told to write with a big black magic marker what our biggest self-doubt is. So we had to write that in capital letters on the styrofoam. And I remember at the time, one of my biggest insecurities was thinking I was boring. So I wrote the word boring in capital letters on the styrofoam. And as I was looking around the room, everyone is holding their styrofoam. I can't see what they're writing. But I just looked around and realized I was the youngest person in the room. Everyone was dressed better than I was. Everyone looked way more put together than I was. And I assumed that everyone was also much more successful than I was. They were much farther along in life. They had a lot more life experience than I did. So I was curious to see what other people would even be writing on their styrofoam. And then the facilitator of the workshop told us all to stand up and walk around the room holding up whatever we wrote on our styrofoam. And what happened next completely changed my life, and it completely changed how I saw and see human beings on the planet. Every single person had some kind of insecurity written on their styrofoam. Some people wrote, not good enough. Other people had not experienced enough. Others had not smart enough. Some had not interesting enough. Some had not strong enough. It was all a form of not being good enough. And it was so transformational for me because I realized that we're all in the same boat. Every single person, no matter how successful they are, no matter how they look on the outside or how they present themselves, they all have their own struggles. They have their own self-doubts. So imagine if the next time you go into a networking event or you're in a room with lots of people or even you're just walking down the street, imagine if everyone was holding up their own sign that revealed their biggest self-doubt and insecurity. And you could just see that. Everyone had a sign. Everyone had something that they perceived to be an inadequacy in themselves. Wouldn't that be such a neutralizer? Wouldn't that just be so validating, knowing that you are not alone? No matter what level of success everyone has something. Everyone's got their crap. So the first thing you need to do if you're worried about other, quote, experts out there, other people you think are, quote, farther along than you, you've got to stop creating distance in your mind between you and the people who you think are, quote, farther ahead of you. The only thing that's making them farther ahead of you is your brain. It's your thinking. So what I tell our coaches when they join the academy is I don't want any of our coaches to come into the academy wanting to be like me, wanting to coach like me. I tell them that their journey in coaching and coach training is about discovering your own unique way of expressing yourself as a coach. That's what's going to draw people to you. That's what's going to make you a client magnet. Now, the next thing that I want you to understand is that your experience is unique and valuable. Who you are is unique and valuable. Your energy is one of a kind. No one else can replicate that. So one story that I love to share to demonstrate this is when I think about my childhood, I grew up on Long Island, New York, in a very Italian-American neighborhood and community. In just about any kind of shopping area you'd go or commercial district, wherever you'd go to find restaurants, you would find pizzerias everywhere. It was hard to drive within 5 minutes on Long Island and not pass at least 3 pizzerias. They were everywhere. And I was fascinated at the thought that there are so many pizzerias and they're all doing well, they're staying in business, yet they're all delivering the same exact product. It's pizza. It's not a complicated food. It's crust, it's tomato sauce, and it's cheese. Essentially, that's what makes up a pizza. So how can there be so many successful pizzerias, yet they're all selling the same exact thing? And if you're not really into pizza, then think about maybe you're into coffee, right? How can there be so many cafes all over the place? Now I live in Seattle, which is like a city that is obsessed with coffee. It's, this is where Starbucks is founded. So there's Starbucks everywhere. There's coffee shops all over the place. And even though they're selling the same exact product, coffee, they're able to be in business and do well. So why is that? Well, it's because every type of pizzeria and every type of cafe, there's something a little different about it. The product they're giving you is essentially the same, but there's something that's a little different about the atmosphere, about the feeling you get when you walk in. Maybe with the pizzeria, there's just something different about the sauce in one pizzeria compared to the other one, right? Yet they can all be successful. So how does this relate to you as a coach, as someone that has the desire to help people in an industry where there's other coaches that are offering coaching services just like you? Well, you, the essence of who you are, your knowledge, your stories, and your insights, and even your overall vibe and energy that you just give off, not a single person on the planet can replicate that. I hear this all the time when people tell me, Oh my gosh, I have researched so many coach training programs. A lot of them are offering similar things, but when I heard your voice and your story and your tone, there was something so unique about it. And my energy and my vibe, that's not something that I'm putting effort into producing. It's just me being me. So consider, what if you just being you is enough? Have you considered that? No one can replicate the flavor that you bring to the coaching industry. And if you're not in the coaching industry, whatever industry you're in, you have something that no one else can replicate just by you being who you are. Now, there's always going to be people with more or less experience than you, but your energy can't be duplicated. Why are there more than one pizzerias? Different atmosphere, different style, different little flavor to the sauce. So when I got started as a coach, I thought it would be impossible to stand out and get clients because I thought there's just too many coaches out there already. I thought that I joined the industry too late, which is so funny because now I realize we are nowhere near saturation in the coaching industry. In fact, we need so many more coaches. The demand for coaching is nowhere near the supply that we have of qualified coaches. So I didn't think at the time, though, that I added anything new or anything valuable to the industry. I thought, what ideas can I really share that haven't already been shared? But then I remember one day a client hired me and she said, Frank, I have been looking for a coach like you for so long. And when that happened, everything clicked for me. So I'm about to take this whole idea to the next level. Get ready, because here we go. I want to present to you a thesis. So my thesis is that right now, your clients are waiting for you. That there are people in the world who are right now looking for your flavor to life, your flavor to coaching. They want to be around it and they want to invest in it. That's my thesis. So please allow me now to defend this thesis on behalf of you and on behalf of your dreams. I'm going to prove this to you. And it's especially important for you to listen up if you don't have any paying clients yet, or if you're just getting started. It's more important to really understand this at the very beginning, because it's how you kick things off. So I want you to think about a celebrity or a musician that you absolutely love and adore. Think about a celebrity or a musician that you just adore. So for me, one of the celebrities that I love and admire and respect is Lady Gaga. Like when I first discovered her, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my Gaga, this woman is amazing. She is pure talent. Something just lit up so deep inside me when I first started seeing Lady Gaga perform and started listening to her music. It was just on a whole other level compared to any other artist I had been listening to, especially in the genre of pop music. So think of a celebrity or a musician that you love. Have that in your mind? Now, stay with me here. Before that celebrity or that musician became public, before they became known, you were already a fan of them. You were already wanting them before you knew they were existing. In other words, you were putting signals out into the world that you were seeking them, that you were looking for them. And then one day they just showed up and they started sharing their voice and their gifts. And you were like, yes, I have been looking for you. And then it all made sense. That's exactly what happened when that client hired me one day and said, I have been looking for a coach like you for so long. So there is a whole hidden community of raving fans that you already have that are waiting to hear your story right now, that are waiting to meet you, that are waiting to hear about how you can help them. They're existing in the world, they're existing on the planet right now, and they are already your fan, even though they haven't met you yet. They are literally looking for you. So you just got to let them know, I'm here, your coach. I'm ready to coach you. Now, were there other famous musicians before the one that you mentioned, the one that you adore and love? Of course. So you don't have to be the first. You don't have to be the first coach. You don't need to be the first coach in a particular niche either. You just need to be the next coach, the one that people are looking for, right? Like before Gaga, there were other pop singers that I liked, but then she came into the scene and I was like, oh my gosh, this just takes things to the next level. You will have that exact impact on someone. All you got to do is show up, let them know that you exist. So I don't buy into the idea that there's just too many coaches. Like I said, it's like saying there's too many doctors. There's never going to be too many doctors. There will never be too many coaches. We are set with there being enough clients for everyone to have a very comfortable lifestyle and make all the money they want to make and help all the people they want to help for their lifetime. So your story is the one thing that no one can replicate. It is yours and it's yours only. Your energy and your vibe that you put out into the world just by being you is something no one else can replicate. It's yours and it's yours only. So let's talk about experience. This is something I commonly hear people say, but what about the years of experience? What if I'm just getting started compared to someone who has 10 years or 20 years of experience on me? Now, oftentimes when people have this concern, when coaches have this concern, the thing that they're worried about is credibility. They say, I want to feel credible. I want to feel credible so that way people hire you. Well, credibility is a feeling and it's based on perception. So people can either see you as credible or they can see you as not credible. But what's more important is how you see yourself. So we've already established that your clients are waiting for you. I've already explained to you why that is already true. But do you feel credible and confident to show up and serve them? If you don't feel credible, the solution is simple. Get your certification. Just get your certification in coaching, get proper supervision and training, learn frameworks that are proven to work, so that way you can feel credible. The sooner that you feel credible, the sooner you feel confident, the faster you're going to open yourself up to receiving the clients that are already there. Now, some people think, I just need to fake it until I make it. There is no need for you to fake anything because you have nothing to prove. When you believe that you need to fake it until you make it, what ends up happening is you start feeling like you need to convince people to hire you. You need to prove yourself to them. Now you have nothing to prove to anyone. It's normal to feel insecure when you're doing something new because you just are going to be opening yourself to learning new things, and that's what life is all about. It's okay to have some insecurity, but coaching and growing a coaching business does not require you to change anything about who you are. It requires you to be more of who you already are. Growing a successful coaching business is about letting go of the stories that you have that are telling you that you're not enough and just realizing all the beauty and the power and the wisdom that's always been there. So I share the truth that your clients are waiting for you with all of our coaches right when they join the academy. I tell them in the first module that right now you have clients that are out there waiting for you. And a lot of the coaches don't believe me when I tell them this. They're like, yeah, right. And I remember one in particular, Maggie, she said, I just don't believe you. And I encouraged all the coaches to just be open to the possibility that this might be true, that there's clients out there that are waiting for you, and you've just got to show up as you are, letting them know that you're a coach, that you can help them. And just a couple months into the training, after sharing this thought with the coaches, this particular coach, Maggie, ended up having 8 people reach out to her wanting coaching from her, and she had to start a wait list by the second month of her being in the academy. What? And I remember I checked in with her after that happened, and she's like, Frank, I didn't believe you at first, but then I became open to it, and now I absolutely believe you. It is true. This stuff is true. Your clients are waiting for you. Now, you might also think, why would anyone hire you when there's so much competition out there? I want to talk about really the concept of having competition as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, and my way of understanding it, because I think my relationship with competition might be different from ways that you may already understand competition or have heard about it. So one of our coaches who went through the academy, she had this exact fear around there being just too much competition out there. And I asked her very directly, I said, if it were true that really the people that have success are just the ones with the most life experience, then wouldn't all people just hire Tony Robbins and we'd all just have one coach, since many people see him as like one of the biggest leaders of the industry and one of the people who've been coaching, one of the living people that have been coaching for the longest amount of time. Like if it's really true that it's just about whoever is the most experienced is going to dominate the competition, then why don't we all just have one coach? So I asked the student, I said, even though Tony Robbins exists, why did you hire me to be your coach? And she said, well, I just connected with your story. I just connected with your presence and your energy. Something about you just resonated for me. And I said, yes, exactly. Just like the fact that there are going to be things about you that your audience and your network and your community are going to resonate with. And you're going to magnetize them towards you. That's how it works. Now the coach that I mentioned who was worried about competition and not having enough experience, she's on track to earning $100,000 this year. Amazing. And also, I think it's great that there's other coaches out there. I think it's so wonderful that there's coaches that might be offering a similar service to what you're offering. Because do you really want everyone to resonate with you? When you really examine this idea of there being, competition, do you really want every single person to hire you as being their coach? I think that would be very stressful. If I'm getting really honest with you, I don't want everyone to hire me. You only need to appeal to a very small group of people in order to be massively successful. So I say if 0.01% of the population hired me, I would be set. I'd be set for my life. I'd be set. My kids would be set for their life, and probably my grandkids would be set for their lives as well. Everyone would be taken care of. If only 0.01% of the population hired me, that would still be so many people. So if you're worried about competition, rather than trying to make yourself likable to everyone and think that you need to get everyone to be interested in you and everyone to just resonate with you, what if you just focus on the people right in front of you? The ones who are already drawn to you, the ones who naturally like being in your space, in your energy, in your presence. So when someone tells me that they don't resonate with me or they don't want to hire me, I think, phew, okay, thank you for knowing that, because you're just making space for someone who will be the ideal fit for me. So the last thing that I want to say, if you're concerned about competition or the other coaches out there, or not thinking that you're good enough as a coach, I want you to think about if there's a particular topic that you like learning about. Think about maybe it's some kind of maybe it's you just like, if you're into self-help, there's a particular book that you really like. Like if you like self-help, did you just buy one self-help book and you were set for life? You just bought the one book and you were good? I remember, I think my first self-help book, oh my gosh, I think it was The Alchemist. And it was one of the first books that was about personal and spiritual development and understanding your purpose. And I remember when I finished that book, immediately I thought, I feel so inspired. I want to go find other books like this. And I just want to keep learning more about how I can grow as a person. So whether it be self-help or any type of topic or area or subject, did you just decide to read one book about it or one blog post or watch one video or listen to one episode about that topic and you were set? No, people don't buy just one book on the topic and they're done learning about it. So when people are hiring other coaches, other quote competitors to you, they're just priming up your future clients. They're just getting your future clients more excited about hiring you next. So when you realize this, you no longer see other coaches out there as competitors, but as partners, right? People are investing in them and they're going to get so excited and get lots of value. You want that to happen because then those clients are going to go seek more coaches to give them more value in other areas of their life. So be grateful for your competitors. Thanks, competitors. Thanks for priming up all of my future clients. And I'm not just making this up because I've had people enroll in the academy who have previously hired my competitors, and they're very open and honest about it. They tell me how they've gotten so much value working with some of my competitors, and because they got all that value, they were just so excited to keep on investing in themselves, and they found the academy and they said, I'm in. This is what I want next. So it sounds odd sometimes in the coaching industry, especially, to even use the word competitors, because what we're doing here is we're transforming lives. So there's really no negative if someone hires me or if someone hires someone else, because at the end of the day, what people get in coaching is they get transformation. So no matter who anyone ends up with, the whole planet benefits. The whole planet benefits when people invest in coaching and invest in their brains. So a scarcity mindset around your business would sound like you thinking, there's just not enough to go around. I'm only getting a small piece of the pie. And this is false thinking. It's not true. An abundance mindset would sound like there's plenty to go around because I'm my own darn pie. Remember the pizzeria metaphor I shared earlier. You're your own pie that no one can replicate. So I want to end by saying that you already have thousands of clients that are existing in the world right now, even if you haven't launched your coaching business yet. They already exist, and they're ready to pay you. So if you question whether there is space in this world for your coaching, for your art, for your voice, I want you to realize there's a hidden community of raving fans you already have, and they're waiting to hear your message right now. They already exist. You just need to let them know that you exist. That's what I got for this episode today. And before you go, here's a clip from a short interview I had with one of our coaches inside the academy so you can hear their story and learn their tips for how you can be successful as a coach. Enjoy their story, and I will see you in the next episode.
My name is Ho-Jung Kim, and since several years ago, I've been thinking about my next chapter. I've been in corporate world, but I didn't think I want to be in corporate world for the rest of my life. So I wanted to do something else in my life. So I was exposed to the concept of coaching quite a long time ago. I started Thriving Coaching Academy program and learned that this coaching that I'm learning is very different from what I was learning from corporate world. This is really about focusing on the humans and help them to find who they are and what's the best thing for them and help them have a better life. There are some people in my around to me say like, do you really have to take such a program? Can't you learn from like, reading a books and watching YouTube videos and all those things? So I was estimating how long it will take if I do that. And it'll take, I don't remember exactly, but many, many months. While compared to if I go through this academy, they just teach everything from the proven way. So I don't have to do a lot of trial and errors. So like, it was comparing the time if I just read and research and watching YouTube videos about coaching and trying to learn about coaching versus going through this well-defined program where they already tested out, proved it, and just teach what's the best, then I can save a lot of time. All the coaching skills I explained in really easy way to follow. I continually surprised by the depth of what I learned, and I'm genuinely impressed by how easy TCA made all the coaching skills to learn for everyone. I personally have noticed myself, but also other students in the program improving their coaching skills drastically in only a few months of time span. So I think that was really amazing. Thriving Coaching Academy staffs, students, and also the graduates, they are all not only just kind and supportive and all that, but they're also super helpful and provide like actionable feedback and really support each other. And I learned so many things that I will run into things in the future, even before I get there. So when I see it coming, then I'm not really worried or stressed or fear like, oh my God, I'm more like, oh, this is what they've been telling me about. Like, bring it on, I'm ready. So they really helped me to set up this career to be successful. I joined Thriving Coaching Academy classes since January, and then I really thought this will be my next chapter, but I thought it'll take at least a year or two. I never imagined that I can start to doing this 100% in like this year or same year. But as I experience what they are teaching about coaching and the business building, I think in June, July, I was starting to think, I can do it now. Why wait? So about 6-7 months later that I started the experience with Thriving Coaching Academy, I actually quit my full-time job and I'm 100% with the coaching business. Because of all the support I got from Thriving Coaching Academy, I feel more confident than the other times I made career changes. I feel like I have all the right information, I have all the right support, and I can do it. Yeah, if there are people who's serious about coaching and considering Thriving Coaching Academy, trust the process. I actually heard this many times from other coaches and staff. Trust the process, it works. But honestly, at the beginning, I didn't believe it. Not that I had any doubt, I just didn't believe it yet. I was new. But now, after 6-7 months of experiencing Thriving Coaching Academy's program and the environment, I do trust. That's why I quit my job and doing 100% of business. I do trust the process works. I just need to keep doing it, and I have all the support I have. So I would advise them to do the same. I did research on some other programs and did hear from other people, and still I'm convinced that this is the best out there.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.